Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news all right. Guys, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could shake up the entire NFC West and have huge implications for the Seahawks. Rumors are swirling that the San Francisco 49ers, currently sitting at a solid 9-4 record, are considering a blockbuster trade that could send linebacker Fred Warner from the Niners to our Seahawks. And yes, you heard that right. Warner, one of the most elite linebackers in the league, could be making his way to the Emerald City. Now, I know this sounds wild, but stay with me because this isn't just speculation without merit. It's coming from sources close to ESPN, and the details are pretty compelling. The 49ers, as many of you know, are in a bit of a financial squeeze right now. They've got a cap hit of around $20 million on Warner, and with their eyes set on extending their quarterback's contract, most likely Brock Purdy, they're probably looking to free up some cap space. So the word is that San Francisco might be willing to ship Warner out in exchange for a first-round pick in 2027. Think about that for a second, sending away a guy like Warner for a future pick, all to prioritize cap flexibility to lock down their QB of the future. It's a bold move, but one that makes sense when you consider the big picture for the Niners. They're trying to stay competitive now while also planning for the long term, and trading Warner might be their way of balancing both. Now, let's talk about why Seattle fans should be excited, or at least intrigued, by this potential deal. Warner isn't just any linebacker. He's a sideline-to-sideline maestro who impacts the game in so many ways. Drafted back in 2018, he's racked up over 720 tackles so far in his career, along with 11 interceptions. His PFF grade over the years has been consistently stellar, sitting at a 91.5, and he's been named a 4-time All-Pro. This guy is a game changer, and having him in our defense would be a huge boost. Right now, the Seahawks have been struggling a bit with our coverage and tackling consistency, especially against the run and in coverage. Warner's arrival could fill those gaps and elevate our defense to new heights. Think about it, the Seahawks have been looking for a linebacker who can be a defensive quarterback, someone who can read plays, direct traffic, and shut down opponents' passing and rushing attacks. Warner is exactly that kind of player. And here's the kicker. According to Seahawks Depot, sources believe that Warner would be seen as a perfect fit for our system. His ability to cover tight ends, blitz, and anchor the middle of the field would make him an instant impact player. Plus, his versatility in the playoffs has been proven, and that's exactly what we need as we gear up for the postseason. Remember, this isn't just about filling a roster spot. It's about adding a player who can change the complexion of our entire defense. With Warner leading the charge, we could see a significant jump in our defensive efficiency, especially in stopping opponents' passing games, an area that's been a concern this season. Now, diving into some specifics about Warner's recent performance. He's battled injuries this year, with a shoulder injury limiting him to only 6 games so far in 2025. But even with that, his impact on the field has been undeniable when healthy. In Week 3, he racked up 9 tackles and forced a fumble, providing a spark for the Niners on defense. His coverage grade this season stands at an impressive 89.2, and his EPA, expected points added, per coverage snap is around 15, indicating how much he helps reduce the opponent's efficiency. Over the course of his career, Warner has been a tackling machine, and his presence on the field has consistently translated into fewer points allowed by his team. Now, why would the 49ers make this move? Well, their current defensive stats reveal some vulnerabilities. They're giving up about 27 points per game, which is decent but not elite. Trading Warner, who carries a hefty $26 million cap hit, might seem counterintuitive, but the Niners are betting on their ability to retool and remain competitive. They're also possibly looking at the bigger picture, betting that by moving Warner for assets now, they can bolster other parts of their roster or allocate that cap savings to extend their core players like Purdy or other key contributors. From the Seahawks' perspective, this potential trade could be a real game changer. The latest projections suggest that adding Warner would boost our overall defensive efficiency by around 18%, with tackles expected to increase by about 55. If we look at the stats, Warner's presence would improve our grade against the run and pass significantly. His ability to consistently make stops, projected to be around plus 130 this season, would make life much harder for NFC West rivals like the 49ers and Rams. Plus, having Warner anchoring our linebacking core would give us a major advantage in both regular season battles and playoff matchups. Now, let's talk about the strategic implications. The Seahawks have been building this team with a clear focus on contending now and in the future. Adding a player of Warner's caliber would send a strong message to the rest of the league, and especially to our division rivals, that we're not just here to compete, we're here to dominate. With Warner, our linebackers would become one of the most versatile and disruptive units in the league. His ability to pressure the quarterback, cover tight ends, and stop the run makes him a perfect fit for our defensive scheme. Plus, his experience in high-stakes games, especially during the playoffs, would be invaluable as we push for another Super Bowl appearance. Now, the impact on our Super Bowl odds is worth mentioning. Currently, the Seahawks are viewed as a solid contender, but with Warner, those odds could improve significantly. Bookmakers have us at around plus 800, but with Warner in the fold, some projections suggest that our chances could jump to plus 500 or better. His presence could be the X factor that pushes us over the edge in close games, especially in the playoffs. Remember, elite linebackers like Warner can sway the outcome of games by forcing turnovers, disrupting offenses, and setting the tone from the start. Of course, nothing is certain in the NFL, and trades like this always come with risks. The Seahawks would need to ensure that Warner's injury history doesn't become a long-term concern. But if he's healthy, the potential upside is enormous. This move could be the final piece in our puzzle, allowing us to build a defense that's not just good, but truly elite. It's a bold move, but one that could pay off big time, especially if we're aiming for multiple Super Bowl runs in the coming years. Looking at the bigger picture, this potential trade is part of a bigger strategy for the Seahawks. We've been steadily improving our roster, focusing on young talent and veteran leadership. Adding Warner would complement our existing core and give us a new level of intensity and discipline on the field. Our coaching staff, led by Pete Carroll, would love to have a player like Warner to implement their defensive schemes and get the most out of our defense. It's about building a team that can adapt, execute, and ultimately win when it matters most. In conclusion, while nothing is official yet, the mere possibility of Warner making the move to Seattle has fans buzzing. It's the kind of move that could redefine our defense and give us a serious shot at bringing home another Lombardi. The Seahawks have been on the rise, and adding a player like Warner could be the final push we need to reach the top of the mountain. Whether or not this trade happens, one thing is for sure. The NFC West is going to be more competitive than ever, and we're right in the middle of it, fighting for supremacy. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think Warner would be the perfect addition to our defense? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in Seahawks colors? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seahawks news. Let's keep the passion alive and keep pushing toward that Super Bowl dream. Go Hawks!